Next is Dezaray Barr. Dezaray is from Kendallville, Michigan.
Yeah.
She is a triple major studying strategic communications with a public relations concentration, journalism with a concentration in print and online writing, and honors humanity through the John Wesley Honors College. In the past, Dezaray has interned with Global Partners, and she recently completed an internship abroad in Australia. Dezaray is unsure of what she's doing after graduation, but the world is her oyster.
As a child, I looked forward to Sundays. I didn't look forward to the old women who would pinch my cheeks and call me cute, and I didn't always look forward to big people church. I always looked forward to Grandma's home cooking every Sunday afternoon, but what I looked forward to most every Sunday was Sunday school. I remember filling out the booklets my teacher had given me, answering the questions in class, and then taking the booklets home and reading them throughout the week. And it wasn't just me who felt this way. 73% of those who attend a small group of some kind say that they are intentionally putting their spiritual gifts to use, compared to only 42% of those who do not attend a church small group. So, no matter how you define these groups or what you call them, whether it be life groups, Sunday school, discipleship classes, or Bible studies, the importance is the same. But these classes cannot be taught well without church curriculum, which is what Wesleyan Publishing House provides. My senior project is a little bit different than my peers because it combines my communication scholarship project with my Honors College capstone project. This means that my project spanned over a year, spanning 3 semesters and over 12 credit hours. In the fall of 2017, I completed secondary research for my project, which consisted of an annotated bibliography and a review of relevant literature. In spring, so last semester, I did primary research, which meant that I interviewed the employees of Wesleyan Publishing House, and I created and sent a survey to over 1,800 Wesleyan churches. And now, this semester, I have done practical implementation based upon my year-long research, and this is what I would like to share with you tonight. I did this research based upon the agenda-setting theory by Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw. This theory states that the media don't tell the consumer what to think, but that we tell the consumer what to think about. So according to this, my goal for my project wasn't to tell the audience that they had to use Wesleyan Publishing House, but instead to put Wesleyan Publishing House and its strengths in front of the consumer. I used the second level of this theory, which is the transfer of salience. So this means that the best practice is to transfer a selected set of attributes to the prominence among my customers' heads. So to do this, I took Wesleyan Publishing House and its strengths, specifically of its curriculum, and I presented it to my audience. As I began my implementation, I took my research from the last year and I pulled out my 3 main key findings. First, Wesleyan Publishing House curriculum is theologically sound. This is both a huge strength for Wesleyan Publishing House and for the audience. This means that if a teacher does not have time to prepare for a Sunday school class, they can read the book right before the class and teach directly out of it, and they're not going to say anything that doesn't align with the church's tradition. Second, the biggest weakness and barrier of Wesleyan Publishing House curriculum is that it's just too expensive for churches on a tight budget. And third, this curriculum, while some may call it Sunday school curriculum, is actually made for any small group that a church offers. I then used these key findings to create an implementable public relations plan, which had 5 strategies. Of the 5 strategies, there were a total of 15 tactics, and these tactics are practical, deliverable pieces that are then created to benefit Wesleyan Publishing House. Of the 15 tactics in the plan, I created 7 this semester. My first strategy was to conduct an audit of major marketing materials to identify ways to increase curriculum sales for Wesleyan Publishing House. To do this, I completed an audit of Wesleyan Publishing House's website, their online bookstore, and their current social media pages, which are Facebook and Twitter. This audit listed necessary changes as well as suggestions that Wesleyan Publishing House can implement online to better market themselves and to better sell their curriculum to their audience. My second strategy was to strengthen social media to reach the target audience. For this strategy, I created a social media campaign calendar for both their Twitter and their Facebook pages, and this was centered specifically around Wesleyan Publishing House curriculum. This calendar spanned 3 months, and it included a social media contest with the goal to increase their online audience. The third strategy of my plan was to create tools to assist the marketing team of Wesleyan Publishing House to better communicate with their consumer. To do this, I actually created 2 deliverables. First, I created this procedure. This procedure is for when Wesleyan Publishing House publishes a new book, takes on a new author, or produces a new product. So they can go through this procedure step by step and complete each of the marketing steps so that they won't miss out on any of the marketing potential for that new edition. I also created newsletter templates. These templates create new options for Wesleyan Publishing House when they send their newsletters each month. The first is their general newsletter. The second is a newsletter that they use with the procedure I just showed you when they market a new edition. And the third is for their $3 ebook Thursdays. The fourth strategy of my plan was to use multimedia to reach consumers and demonstrate the strengths of Wesleyan Publishing House curriculum. For this, I first took over 350 marketing photos that Wesleyan Publishing House can and already have used on their social media, their website, and their marketing banners. After taking these photos, I shot a promotional video for Wesleyan Publishing House. This video, which I'm going to show you now, can be used on their social media, their blog, and can be included in their newsletters to let their audience know why their curriculum is better than a competitor's.
Selecting curriculum for your church is not just a responsibility, it's a ministry. Our customer service team is here to talk you through the options you have, answer questions that help you find the best materials.
Our resources are not restricted to Sunday school. We have a wide range of options. We partner with you for the discipleship of the people in your church. It is our privilege, it is our joy. We not only work with you, we pray for you.
The fifth and final strategy of my public relations plan was to explore larger marketing issues identified in my year-long research. This included future tactics that Wesleyan Publishing House can use over the next year, and they can implement one at a time as projects as they see fit. So, the next time you think about Sunday school, church curriculum, or even just this night, I want you to remember this little girl. I want you to remember her Sunday morning excitement, her eagerness to complete her Sunday school booklets, her devotion to reading her answers throughout the week just to get her through until next Sunday. I want you to remind yourself that this little girl's excitement for Sunday school was what became the foundation of her faith, and this would not have been possible without church curriculum from companies just like Wesleyan Publishing House. Thank you, Janelle, Katie, and the Wesleyan Publishing House team for allowing me to take you on board as a client, and I'd like to thank Professor Sigworth for her help and suggestions along the way. What questions do you have? Thank you.